Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We are reading from January 18th through the 24th. It seems weird to already be doing the third week of January in the reading. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay.
I feel like it was just yesterday that we were talking about how long January was last year. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday, being like, oh my God, January is taking forever. And it is not happening right now. I'm like, whoa, how is it January 11th?
Yeah.
Well, as we're recording this.
Right. I know. I don't know. I have no idea. But it is what it is. Just kind of like,
here we are.
But anyways, so this week, this Sunday, the Sunday after this reading, the 25th, is when Sacred Body Path is going to start. And so we've delayed it a little bit to the 7th, only because just timing and making sure that I can do it. Like I have the energy to do it and I have the space to do it, my calendar and things are good. So yeah, it's still there. So if you're curious about it, if you heard us talking about it and you're like, I want to talk to Grace, hit me up. You know where to find me on social media. Instagram is best because I rarely connect to Facebook anymore. But yeah, or just email freud'sangels@gmail.com. I would be happy to have you in class. This one's going to be interesting because it's the second one I've done with this wisdom and information that comes through, and it's always interesting to see, depending on the energy of the class, what comes through about that topic. And so part of it is that I think each one individually is, I don't know, I just think that it comes in based on the energy and what the people need that are in that class. So it's hard to say everything is going to be exactly the same as the last time. So yeah.
No, I mean, that's the reality of it. Like for a long time, I mean, the entire 6 years that I was, or 5.5, whatever, the entire time I was in Myrtle Beach, I feel like every year I ended up at the same sister circle on the beach about the same goddess, and it was a different experience every single time. And it was the same person giving me, like holding circle, you know what I mean? So like that, it didn't matter that it was the same script-ish type thing. It was the energy being different, me being different, just all of that. So that's what I think is so beautiful about when spaces are open like that and they're not super structured, is because it really does give the opportunity for there to be different movement of energy, and that makes it container specific and group specific and people and energy specific versus content specific.
Yeah. And it's not, and we're going to talk about the same things, but the energy of the people are going to be different in different places, and that's what's going to determine what shows up for that class. And so that's why when people talk about creating courses, I'm like, it's hard because like I am not that person that is always like, this is exactly the way to do it, because each of those people are going to be in different places. And even if the first group, some of them we're thinking about retaking it, it's going to be different because they're in a different place. They've changed and shifted and expanded their energy. And I'm like, okay, here it goes. Like, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's interesting. But anyways, if you want to join, please, I'd be welcome you in class and to take this journey with us. And yeah, so just connect with me. Vanessa, mermaids, what are they telling us?
The mermaids. No mercy today. They're telling you to dive deep. The second that I saw it, I was like it feels like there's a denial piece to this. Because I think that, or not, I know this to be true, especially because of the work that I do, both for myself and for my clients, is that like sometimes we stop when it's comfortable when we're digging, because it feels like it's going to be painful if we keep digging deeper. but then we're not, I don't want to say completing, because healing isn't complete. I don't believe that it ever is complete. But what we're doing is depriving ourselves of forward progress that could bring us to an even better space. Now, that doesn't mean that, we should shame ourselves for doing that, but I think it's an opportunity to pause and ask why you would be doing this. Why am I afraid to be deep? Why am I afraid to ask those questions of myself? Why am I afraid to jump in that deep end, whatever that deep end means? For me personally, like, there's been a lot, we know this, me in relationships. There's a lot that I've been discovering in the last few months about my depth and my protective measures and my like past, even, not even really necessarily this year, but just the highlight of that, of how the depth was being protected by various, pieces of my brain and my trauma, so that I wouldn't re-experience stuff. And then the reality being now that I am safe to do that digging. And I'm not only safe to do that digging because I have, good support, but I actually have a person who is willing to demonstrate safety to me to practice this. And that has been eye-opening for me to be able to experience that, to have conversations where I'm like, I've never said anything like this out loud before because it's never been safe, but I feel safe. And it then gets met with more safety. And I'm like, oh shoot, like that is way deeper than I thought it was. Like, what's going on right now? Right? It's unlocking more levels of safety more than anything. And that's the thing that's so scary about it, is that it doesn't feel safe when you're first doing it, right? Like, it's like if you dive into a dark water, that does not feel safe until you get through it and you come back up and you're fine. And then you're like, oh, what was I afraid of? Kind of thing. So I think that that's like the other part of it, right? Like, is when I say, don't be in denial, or don't, stop yourself before you get to the root cause. Like, I understand it's scary. That's why you do it. That's why we stop. That's why denial even exists. It's because we're like, wow, what's painful? The truth. So let's go ahead and rewrite it so that I feel better. Yeah. So there's this one is telling us, like, just surrender your denial and dive deep. Now, also, though, in this card, there are two fish that they look like they're about to eat these orbs of light. And that's part of this card. That's like almost like a secondary thing of like, just because you're diving deep doesn't mean that it's all dark, that it's all scary, that there are these little orbs of light, that's what we're down there for. We're looking for our orbs of light that maybe got lost or maybe got buried, and bringing that back out. That's why we do inner child work. That's why we, go back and humanize the villains in our lives sometimes, because we realize that they have darkened things, or that we have hidden pieces of us that were unsafe, and now they're safe to go look at and touch and bring back to the surface. So it's so funny today as we're doing these readings, it's like, I'm done. Like, usually I fade out, but
like, here's the message.
We're done.
Yeah.
No more.
Oh my God, that's funny. So in order to dive deep, we need to surrender our fear of change.
Oh, for the love of God. All right.
The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, health, or relationship, or whether you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. My numerology, my birth year is a 5. 5s are all about change. Change is the thing that I hate the most. My nervous system can't cope with it. However, or hasn't in the past, I should say that. However, I've always made these great big changes. I've moved across country twice. like 3 times. Like I've done this thing, and like, but I'm like, but that's what I do. I reinvent and I recreate myself. In tarot, my card is the death card. And so the death card is a lot about change. It's a lot about the endings and the beginnings. It's a lot about releasing and moving forward. But I'm like, really? That's my card. I hate change. And but what I'm understanding is now I'm understanding that I understand that it's my nervous system because of my experience my whole life, in that I've rarely felt stable. I've rarely felt like change was good, because change wasn't good. I mean, there was a lot of change in my life and when I was young, and none of it was good. And it felt very unsafe. Change felt very unsafe. And so as I'm moving into the new year, and as I said last time, like, we have to understand is that something in us may shift in order to bring what we're supposed to do energetically this year, astrologically this year. And part of that, I know, is changing a lot of things in my life. And it's changing routines, it's changing habits, it's changing, and it's not just about the change itself. It's about creating safety around the change. It's creating safety around the functional freeze I go into when I think about movement. Or I know all these things, but it's like there's a disconnect, and that disconnect, I've learned recently, is a very big component of why I find it hard to change, is functional freeze, right? And so one of the things that is my focus is not so much about what I want to change, but how to make change easy for me. And I don't mean easy as in I just start doing it. I mean easy as in my nervous system doesn't need to shut me down. It may fire a little bit of warning signs, like this feels really scary. It gives me an opportunity to be like, look, we're going to try. And if it is unsafe and we feel like, I don't want to do it, we'll regroup, we'll reassess. It's the process of feeling ease in the support of making those changes. And the unknown is scary for all of us, especially in the world right now. Unknown is so hard. But we can do it when we're internally supported, when we know that if I am resisting this, there's a reason. It's not because I'm undisciplined. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because of whatever reason. It's because there's something internally that is not willing to go into spaces that are unsafe, and it's keeping me alive, or so it thinks, by not allowing me to attribute that change. And so part of not fearing change is understanding what change brings to you. Like, what does it stir up in you? What cellular memory makes you feel like it needs to shut you down? What have you changed something in your life and something happened, and or something like, for me, it was step parents, like so much of that change and that shifting and that, the constant unsteadiness, and there's no support anywhere from any of the people that are supposed to support me. That creates fear of change, because change has always been dangerous. And so, yeah. And I think it's just about it's not about change, but it's about the meaning our body and our nervous system and our brain has made about change.
Yeah. Like, do we trust it? Right. Like, because that's the thing, is like the difference between like fearing change and being excited about change is what I believe is going to happen. Right. So like, the times where I was very excited to move, I was excited every time I moved, but yeah, that was exciting to me, because I was like, hell yeah. And it was super changes, right? Like, hey, Jersey to Florida, like your life is going to go from super, super busy to like, wow, no, people don't want to do anything here. Right. Like, and figuring that whole thing out. But if I were forced into it, if it were against my will, probably would have been scared. Right. But the same outcome could have been this, it could have been, but it's the trust in what is coming on the other side. Right. And the trust of knowing that I can handle what's coming on the other side. Right. Self-trust is the biggest part of navigating change, in my opinion, is like, because you don't have to trust that you know what to do. And that's what our fear does, is try to create the situation so that we can create the solution, so that we can feel like we can step into it with enough knowledge. Well, the reality being that which we do know if we surrender our denial, is that we can plan it out to the T, and then it might not go that way. And we might still have to pivot. And when we pivot, we have to be able to trust that we can do that. And so it does come down to self-trust of like, just because we trust ourselves doesn't mean we're going to love the change, but we might not get paralyzed by the fact that change is coming if we're kind of like, well, I feel that it's happening.
Yeah.
I feel and I trust that the universe guides me. So how do I find that trust in myself, that I am able to keep myself safe, that I am able to be in awareness, that I'm able to be in intention during this entire process, that I won't, like Grace was saying, I won't abandon myself, like all of these kinds of things, so that even when change comes that we don't like and that we don't want, there is this element of trust somewhere underneath there in the foundation of saying that I will figure it out, right? That's the way that it is, whatever figure it out means, whether it's surrender and let the universe give me the information I'm refusing, or if it is, hey, I already have this information, just do it, man. But yeah, that because I feel like I've embraced change so much because sitting still felt scary and stagnant, because as it's coming back around here, I feel like it creates responsibility for me. It creates continuity that makes it easy for me to let people down. So if I'm continuously changing, then nobody will expect anything from me. Right? Like, and now I'm like, oh shit.
All right.
That's kind of weird, right? But as per usual, my kid who came into this world is teaching me that, where it's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't suck. Like, you actually, it's fine. So why isn't it fine everywhere else? Hey, here we go. So yeah, there's I actually love these two cards together too, because I feel like it's diving like beyond the surface to see what's really going on helps us let change happen.
Yes. And so how do we do that? We do that with our numerology card, 22, which is your intuition. This card encourages you to trust your inner guidance and to embrace the intuitive wisdom that resides within your soul. By drawing this card, you're being urged to honor your sensitivity at all times, prioritize your premonitions and hunches above practicality and logic. This isn't a time to be influenced by others' opinions or betray your inner guidance. That's hard, because I do that all the time. In order to fit in, instead, you must trust your intuition, for it will never let you down. You're being encouraged to spend a quiet time alone in nature's or outdoors will enhance your connection to source and align your soul with Mother Earth.
Love it.
So yeah, that's part of the self-trust, right? Is trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, knowing that you will honor the triggers or the urges or the warning signs in a way that feels good, a way that feels supported. So our money card this week, sorry, I have to pick it up. Today, money flows to me effortlessly. I'm going to say this week, money flows to me effortlessly. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So my friends, have a wonderful week. Yeah. And if you need us, you know where to find us.
Yes.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.